What up? What up? What up? We back.
Yo, long
What
time,
up?
no time, bruh.
What up? What up? We back.
Yeah.
Been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. But we back.
We back, baby.
What up, baby?
What's up, dog? What's up, y'all? Good to see y'all. Good to hear y'all. Good to talk to y'all. It's been a minute, man, since we've been doing this here. I mean, it ain't been a minute since I seen you. I just seen you the other day, but
You know that phrase, it's been a minute. It could be used in so many
it's been a
different
while.
contexts, right? Like in just a minute, like literally a minute.
Right.
Or it's been a minute, like a long while, or it's been a minute, like a couple days. Like,
Yeah.
I think it depends on the tone of the sentence. You
Depends
know what
on
I'm
how
saying?
long of a minute. It might have been a New York minute, and it might have been a long ass minute. Sometimes you
A
at work.
Rikers Island minute.
Hey, sometimes you're at work and you're looking at the clock and you're like, God damn, it's only been 5 minutes since I've been here. It's not 3 o'clock yet.
A bad shroom minute, like a bad trip. Like peek up, look at that
Dude.
clock, and it's still the same time.
You only been peaking for about 5 minutes. You're like, shit, I got about another 3 hours of this here.
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
up,
we've
bro?
all been there.
What's good with it? How you doing?
Dude, I'm good, bro. I can complain, but no one will listen. My complaints are minimal in the grand scheme of things, dude. I'm very fucking thankful to be here. Very thankful to be alive. And man, it's getting to that time of year where it's like, fuck, dude. Here comes the rush.
Man, I mean, I feel you, but this has actually been like the last couple of days, or this last week has been. It's still busy, but somewhat of a decline for me. So,
Okay.
and then it's about to pick back up into the rush.
Yeah, you've had the little break between wrestling and football, right?
Well, yeah, and we just started with wrestling, but we have our first tournaments the end of the month. You know what I mean? Like, so the weekends are kind of, family time right now, and it's a little nice. But beforehand, we've been seeing each other a lot, but
Pause.
we've been missing the people.
We've been missing the people.
The people's been.
Hey, we've been slacking too. Folks been asking.
Yeah, they've been asking
Where's the pod at?
You guys still doing the pod? Like, they just thought we fell off the face of the earth. But as some may notice, we've been busy.
We had to get a little focused on some things. We
Had to lock in.
as a team,
Yeah.
we set a goal, and we needed to do what was necessary to see through that goal. And I hope it's a teaching lesson to all the young people that we coach, that even coaches sometimes put some things on the back burner in order to see through what we set out to do.
Yeah, it's like kind of like when everybody questions like Aaron Rodgers and he goes into those darkness retreats, right? He's getting his mind right. Like, we just went to our own little essence of a retreat. We had to lock in, playoff mode, get the goal done as a team, show the team we're committed to getting that goal done. And mission accomplished.
Wasn't no ayahuasca used for our retreat, though.
No,
it was just good old hard work.
Good old hard work.
So what's new with you, dog? Besides that, I mean, you say you're getting ready for wrestling, and
Oh, dude.
what's been going on, man? What are you looking forward to this year with wrestling? I know he's DJ, and he's a stud athlete.
Yeah. So,
But
I mean, besides him, because I'm looking forward to the fact that I'm actually in there this year. Like, last year I was a coach who kind of helped out on tournament days. Where needed, if a kid needed a coach in the corner, I'm there to support. I'm also there to support the main coach who's giving instruction, and I'm kind of making sure that I'm watching points and things like that are getting done correctly. Kind of being his assistant in a sense. But now I'm in the room and we're working, and there's a lot of kids, in my opinion, from my observations last year and the year before to this year, that have drastically improved, bro. And there's a lot of good things happening in that room right now. Got a lot of kids who I think are going to compete. Got a couple new kids that are going to compete. And I'm excited, bro. I'm excited for the opportunity to see a lot of kids. Like, the good thing I love about the sport of wrestling is, like, it challenges you as an individual to push past that breaking point.
For sure.
And you see some kids get to that point, and that's when they're done, and
Then
the
they
match is
break.
over. And then you see some kids just push past it, bro, and then they get that win. And after the win, they're tired. They're crying, too, because it took everything in them, and they don't understand how they got it done, but they're so happy. They're drained, everything. And that moment, oh, dude, there's nothing like it. And And I can't wait because I think there's going to be a lot of those moments this year.
So it's funny to me that you can't fucking stop.
What do you mean?
That I mean, you can't stop and just play the role as Pops and watch. You fucking love coaching.
Oh yeah,
like
you know,
you love to hate it and hate to love it, but you love it.
So I'm a sucker for punishment. Yeah. It's what it is. So I mean, it's tentative, but there may be a possibility that I help out with the girls' high school basketball team too, and do double practices just like during football season. 4 to 6 basketball, 6 to 8 wrestling.
Oh, there you go. There you go. See,
glutton
for punishment.
Again, that's tentative. But you know, man, I mean, there's something about like just giving back and sports and competition and camaraderie that you get from sports and just again seeing like the sheer like satisfaction of accomplishing your goals and not. Sometimes seeing the disappointment and coaching up those disappointing moments. We've had a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we talk about what we accomplished this year, but
we fell short in other ways.
Our goals, right, have always been to get this because it's been so elusive for us these past few years since we've started as a team. And, you know, this was our goal to get it done this year. We did. But then we had our eyes on bigger prizes after that. And we still didn't get to that.
Well, goals always change expectations, right? So, like, if you've never been a league champ, your goal is be a league champ.
Yeah.
Right. And then once you become a league champ, it's like, well, that's not my goal anymore. Even next year, going into next year, it's not my goal no more. That's expected.
Yeah.
Right. That's part of the process to be where we want to be. So, that's the best way to get there is win your league. Right. Yeah. So obviously that'll have to happen. Yeah. But our goal isn't to take this trophy home. Our goal is a different trophy next year. And it changed in a different color. It changed based on the expectation. Like we've got to remember that shit, man, that we've got to be malleable to being able to change our goals based on our expectations. When we hit new heights, don't be sitting there hitting the same heights. It's time to hit different heights at that point. It's time to rise above that and be something different. So
I mean, and kind of like what CU's doing.
Yeah.
Right, the expectations, I'm sure, are changing now.
Yeah,
and the standard is getting higher, and you know, it kind of sucks for coaches as well because, like, we do it to ourselves, right? But we're not gonna really take the time to appreciate what Coach Prime's doing up in CU right now, bro. They're balling, you know. They look like a very good program.
Yeah,
and still, we're like, okay, well, we know what our goal is, and you got to get that done. But we're not remembering the last few seasons where we've come from and what he's already accomplished. Like, you know what I mean? What he's brought to CU. So shout out to them. And
it's interesting you point that out because I was watching. So I watched the game yesterday, and then afterwards I was watching. It was the Iowa State-Cincinnati game last night. Yeah. And they brought up the standings for the Big 12, and then they brought up what this preseason was. And, you know, they were picked to be 11th in the Big 12 preseason, and now they're sitting second, tied for first now that BYU lost yesterday. And you know, they showed Utah. Utah was expected to win the whole Big 12, and now they're one of the bottom teams in the Big 12.
And we haven't beat them in some years.
It's been a while. We haven't beat them since 2016.
Yeah.
But that was prior to going into the Pac-12, and we hadn't beaten them since. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it just goes to show you, though, man. Like what people believe you are early in the season doesn't necessarily mean that's what you're going to be at the end. It matters what you believe you are.
Yep.
And I'm sure Utah believed they were going to be the best team, and obviously they had some injuries and things like that, and that kind of writes their narrative. But CU probably believed they were going to win the Big 12. They're going to be one of the best ones, and they want to get to that college football playoff. And if we don't go in next year setting the tone like we believe we're going to get there, I don't know how many of these other kids that we coach will believe it. So we have to kind of set that tone, be like, hey, our expectations isn't just this. Our expectations now is something bigger.
Yeah. And, you know, what does that mean, right? To truly believe in your team. Because you said it like, I'm sure Utah thought and believed that they were going to be the best team, but that's not the case necessarily. Does that mean that they still don't believe fully, or is it that?
I would say they probably believe they would have been that team had not the injuries, right? You know what I mean? They still have the best defense, one of the best defenses in the country, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
Didn't look too good yesterday.
Got 49 put up on them.
Yeah, it didn't look too good yesterday, but You know, they're on a true freshman quarterback who showed some signs yesterday. That kid looks like he might be good, and that might be a problem in a couple years. They got a great coach.
I mean, and he was under pressure, bro. Let's talk about defense.
Yeah.
Like, CU's defense right now is balling.
That front seven's me.
Yeah, like, and then you see Sapp on the sideline. Like, he's bringing that energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was funny because we were watching the game, and Sapp's going crazy, and he's over there sending in his hand signals, and he got this mohawk, and he's like, and Vita looks at Rachel and is like, see, it's not only Dom, I guess.
Hey, they don't understand because they're not like in the trenches like that.
Yeah, like, so.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
I get
it's
it.
just, but it was so dope to watch him, like, calling those plays and then getting, like, feeling. He was. I can tell, like, because there's times where I'm calling plays, bro, defensively, and we're in our groove, and I feel like I'm on cloud nine.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like any play I call is working. I'm just dialed in right now. I know the play before you call your play. I know exactly what you're about to do. You come out in that formation. I know where it's going. Like.
And he's like a defensive assistant, graduate assistant, or whatever. And a lot of people think like that's just a fucking like a trophy job or whatever. Like he's getting the bone thrown to him. You could tell them boys are well coached.
Oh yeah,
they're from the defensive line coach to Sapp and what he does, like the influence he has, to the defensive coordinator. You could tell them boys are well coached, man. That front seven's well coached.
Yeah, and it's the chemistry between coaches and players.
Yeah,
too, right? Because I think that's important. I think the players really got to know that even though you're not out there with them, you're out there with them, and you're bought in, and you're invested in every single play, and you're draining your energy also for every single play, like emotionally, right? Like emotionally after games, sometimes, bro, I'm just beat. You know what I mean? I'm just like, holy, like we just went through that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in wins and lessons, but like I think that's kind of a part of why teams believe and why teams buy in and truly buy in, right? Like it's believing in yourself, it's believing in your teammates, believing in your coaches, believing in the system, right? And believing in your grit in tough times against adversity.
And when you got guys like that in the program, you can't discount their real life experience.
Yeah.
You can't, you know, as good of a coach that you are, you can't provide fucking input on high level. You know, I was playing in the Orange Bowl and I did this, or I was playing in the NFL and I did this. Like, there's just something about that, especially with kids that are projected to be NFL pro players that play on Sunday. Like, it just, that connection right there alone is like, dude, this guy has done it on the highest level. This guy, speaking of Sapp specifically, this guy is a Hall of Famer. This guy was an all-time great at the University of Miami. Like, he's played high-level football during Miami's heyday. You know what I mean? So it's like easy to, you look at Prime, dude played at Florida State during their heyday.
I mean, their whole
Hall of Fame, right? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, if he tells me I have to do it like this, if I want to get to the next level, then I should probably do it like this.
Yeah, you see Terrell Owens.
Yeah.
Right? Terrell Owens is there. The sideline is always a celebrity's event, you know what I mean? And it's a great environment, like what he's giving these kids and these athletes, and how do you not buy in and believe into that system? You know,
the celebrities don't matter so much to me on the sideline. Well, it's the guys that show up during the practice week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That like the athlete, the former football players that are in Prime Circle that show up during the practice week that we don't get to see.
Yeah.
I think that right there, dude, that might be even bigger, because that's when they're actually getting tips from these guys. And it's like, dude, if you had an encyclopedia of all-time greats to be able to fall back on and be like, hey, Travis, when you're playing wide receiver, try to do this, or this. You know, like you mentioned Terrell Owens. You know what I mean? Like,
and the thing is like, I think where that stuff does matter on the game days, right? The guys who aren't there during practice, it's still showing like the investment of the coach into the program, and what our coach is willing to do for us that other programs aren't doing. Like, this is the exposure we're getting. That's why he's bringing Louis to Boulder, because fun. You know what I mean? Like, wow, I can go there and get this kind of experience before I hit the NFL. I can go to CU.
Yeah. Wow. And at that, if you do well, then the exposure is going to bring on NIL money.
Yeah.
There's no. I mean, Shedeur is one of the top. I think the top NIL earner. Travis is in the top 10 NIL earnings.
Yeah.
Like that's no mistake, bro.
I'm
like,
sure Jordan Seaton's gonna be up there soon.
Yep. and all it does is all this national exposure. They've been on national TV every freaking week. Bro. So all this national exposure, all that does is tie in companies outside of here that maybe wouldn't do NIL to potentially do NIL with them.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
You know, the stuff on the Saturdays on the sideline has its role too, for sure. And I don't downplay that, because also you got all these recruits coming down and they're like, oh shit, we get to play in front of Lil Wayne, or hey, we get to play in front of this guy or that guy. They know they're the show, bro.
Gilly's on the sideline. What?
If Juju comes here next year, dog, and Prime stays.
Yeah. What do you think of? I mean, let's dive into that a little bit, right? Let's dive into first. Let's see. We got Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Heisman front runner right now.
Should be.
I mean,
although Shedeur's putting some pressure, dog.
Yeah, but both sides of the field, bro. Like this dude gets a pick, he's here.
Well,
he scores that touchdown where it's like, oh, he's dead to water.
Yeah.
This is a tackle for a loss. They're getting this fool 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Touchdown.
You know what that reminded me of right there? That play right there. You know
the
where I've seen
Eddie?
that? You know where I've seen that before? No, not even our team. You know where I've seen that before? Peter Warwick.
Oh, yeah.
Former Heisman.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I thought you were talking about because I was.
Oh no, that was our fucking alpha when he shouldn't have pitched it to Eddie, and then Eddie said, "All right."
And he got hit like by 4 players in the backfield, and it looks like, oh damn, dog. And then all of a sudden he comes popping out and takes it for 60.
Nah, dude, Travis is legit, and he should win the Heisman. I think Shedeur's making a little case for himself. That'd be dope to have.
Hey, there's some. I think this year, as much as they're having great seasons, and obviously there's that CU bias a little bit, right? But there's some candidates this year.
Wow, Genty's legit. I didn't see what he did last night.
Another dominant performance. I think he went for over fucking 200 or something.
I know he's on pace. Like he was on pace for a second to break Barry's record, but I believe he's already over 2,000 yards rushing on the season.
Yeah.
You know, he's legit too.
Yeah.
Like I hate the fact that they always give
Ward.
I think Ward's good, dude, and so is Gabriel.
Yeah.
But I hate the fact they always just look to give it to a quarterback, and the quarterback position is kind of valued the way it is, and for good reason. I mean, it's a very valuable position, but it frustrates me that becomes the case sometimes, bro. Like, because I think Genty would be a legit Heisman winner. I think Travis would be a legit Heisman winner, and I just hate to see one of them guys lose it out the season they're having.
Who was the last two-way player to win the Heisman?
I think it was Woodson.
I was gonna say Charles Woodson.
Yeah, and I think he's like one of the only predominant two-way players to win it.
Yeah.
Last defensive player to win it.
Yeah.
You know, although Ndamukong Suh had very good claim. So Genty had 32 carries, 159 yards, but 59. He had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
3 tutties. And dude, if you look at his stats on the year, bro, he's 256 carries for 1,893 yards, averaging 7.4 a carry. But here's the stat that stands out to me: 26 touchdowns.
Yeah,
26, bro. He's got more touchdowns this season than Travis has his whole career.
That's crazy, bro.
And it's obviously a different position, but
that fool's he's there, and he's also like the thing that's great about both Shedeur and Travis is that you got 2 dudes competing against each other on their own team.
Yeah.
Competing with each other, right? They're not really competing against each other, but they are in a sense in the background, right? Their stats are competing against each other. But the irony behind it is they're fueling each other's stats too. So like that's dope, right? There's a competition for the Heisman in Boulder.
And I'm glad Shedeur isn't sour about it. He's still hitting fucking Travis on some wild plays. That catch he had and 5 defenders around him, and he just goes up and mosses it.
Yeah,
dude.
Like there is definitely something special about this season. I think with CU, I think for me, the expectation has already been the goals of the season have already kind of been met, you know, as from a media and from a fan perspective.
Yeah.
But I know their goals are bigger than that, and obviously I want them to go bigger and farther than that. And I think they can, bro. I think they can. They could make a legitimate push with the remainder of the year. They can make a legitimate push for the playoff.
Yeah.
I think they make they're right now front runners. You just said it. They're now number 1. right? With BYU's loss,
they're tied. Yeah,
and now it's your race to take over at this point. So let's get us a Big 12, and then let's go into that playoff and let's see what we can do.
The thing is, bro, like, can you imagine? Like, so they're gonna have a tough one this weekend against Kansas.
They will.
Kansas is gonna be tough. They're starting to play better. They just won yesterday again.
Yeah,
they knocked off BYU for the first.
But this could also be a tough one. But this could also be that statement game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's gonna be at Arrowhead.
Yeah,
which some say that might be where Shedeur will be putting it on Kansas City for foreseeable future. Yeah, with Vegas,
and Deion will be coaching.
I don't. So let's bounce back. Let's bounce back before we bounce forward. I don't know that Deion wants to coach in the NFL, bro.
I don't know either, but I've been hearing too much rumor.
Yeah, but we heard that last year too.
Yeah, but there's been because I even see Dallas now.
Well, that's the job that scares me.
I see Dallas in the mix.
We know McCartney's getting fired,
and we know Dak is pretty much done there in Dallas.
They just paid him though, dude.
Yeah, bro.
They just paid him.
I think now is the time to get rid of him.
How much of a cap hit would that be? Because people were bitching about the $83 million it was for Russ.
But let's talk about it though. There's a lot of teams that would be willing to take on a Dak Prescott.
But I still think they get a dead cap hit if they trade him. We'd have to look because I know like with Deshaun Watson. And the only reason why I know this is because this is a scenario I seen with Deshaun Watson was there was talking about the Cleveland Browns trading him and giving away their first round pick to somebody just to get him off the boards, and they'd still have a cap hit. But it would get him off the boards.
But even in that scenario, he had money.
Yeah.
And they went and got him after being the diddler of the NFL.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he still got his big-time bag from another team, and they were willing to invest that.
But now they're looking to get rid of him because it's been shit.
So. Yeah, I know. But, like, if they did that for Deshaun, don't you think they'll do that for a guy like Dak?
Oh, I think there's probably about 10 teams that
we would take him.
There's 10 teams that would line up for that. No, I'm not saying about taking Dak. I'm saying about the Cowboys sending him away because of the cost.
Yeah.
But then it's Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
That's Jerry Jones. He got money. He don't give a fuck about the cost. Write that check, Jerry.
Yeah.
But maybe don't. Yeah. But I think Dallas would have to be the number one pick though. They're gonna have to lose the rest of the season.
Maybe or just trade up. Right?
But if you're the Raiders, you trading off number one? If you can go get Shedeur?
No, absolutely not. But if you're
Cleveland, are you trading off number one when you can go get Shedeur?
I mean, if you still are that much invested in Deshaun, and
maybe Cleveland because they already said they wouldn't. He wouldn't go to Cleveland, dog. Like, don't nobody want to go to Cleveland. Like, if I was Shedeur, I'd pull the John Elway and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go fucking play baseball or some shit. Go do something different. I ain't going to Cleveland.
Yeah. Nah, CU's doing good, bro. The NFL is well in the mix right now. Like, it's football's good still.
You know what? I don't even want to worry about Prime going to the league because I want to finish off what we got going on. Yeah. Because if this is going to be it, I want it to be as special as it can be. And I think they get by Kansas. I think Oklahoma State shouldn't be an issue, and I think they throttle BYU.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, right? Because as a coach. As a human being, like I just say, like Prime, do what's best for you.
Yeah,
regardless, all the time. Like do what's best for you. Like, yes, he doesn't want to coach, but how many people would love to write their name in the history book of being a Hall of Fame athlete, right? A multi-sport athlete, a collegiate coach, coached your son collegiately. Help your son potentially win a bowl game and get himself into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And potentially be a Heisman runner and then go coach him in the NFL.
Let me ask you a question.
That's pretty remarkable as a dad.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Prime has been authentic the whole time?
I do.
Okay. So do I. And here's why I ask you that question. Because he has stated previously and continuously that his calling is to help young men
Yeah.
to groom young men to be better men and to do what he's doing, and some of his actions behind the scenes, whether it's starting bank accounts for athletes that have kids of their own to kind of get them going in the right step and stuff like that. So I wonder when he says that his calling is to be here at the college level to coach young people. I wonder if someone like Florida State or LSU, if they get off of Brian Kelly, if a school like that is more of a threat than an NFL job is, because I feel like he's been genuinely authentic about his calling is to be helping these young people, and that seems where his heart's at.
You know what though, I feel like knowing who Prime is, I don't think Prime needs those schools. Right? Like, I don't think Prime needs to be at those schools to do what he's doing. He's obviously
proven. Well, and he could do it here at CU.
Yeah.
No,
he's going to make CU one of those big time schools.
What I mean is
now it's going to be into Boulder's hands,
right,
to step up and make CU one of those schools. So that way,
what I meant that by is I worry more about a school trying to come get him. Like, I feel like there would be more. I don't worry more about that. I feel like if he was gonna leave, it would be more for a college school, a bigger college program, than it would be for the NFL. Yeah. I just feel like who he has been and who he has said he is been authentic for the most part. Like it or not, like some of the shit I don't like, but it's been real. Like, he's been authentic.
So let's bring up another old kind of CU locally, like a lot of people give Bieniemy, right? That was the whole Bieniemy thing of like getting players to go and leaving, like recruiting. Like, what do you think that would do to recruiting if, worst case scenario, Prime did leave, whether it was for the NFL or for another college program? What does that do to the current recruits that are at CU that he brought in, right? Is he taking the Louis with him wherever he goes? Because
I think some are gone.
And now, because it's that easy, or like, and what does that do to just like recruiting in general?
Who replaces him? I guess that's the biggest question. Like, if
I think it's a disaster for CU if he leaves.
I think so too, but I think it can be mitigated a little bit depending on who you have to replace him, right? Like, if you were able to like coax fucking Urban Meyer or Nick Saban out of retirement to come coach him, just because they see it can be done here, right? Yeah. I think that's what a lot of hesitation is with some of these big name coaches. I remember, before Les Miles got into his issues, he was a rumor here, but I think that's what it is I can't win there. We don't have the infrastructure. Well, guess what? He built the infrastructure. Like, I think it's possible.
But you also got to look at it like this: a lot of those guys that you named, like, all due respect, legends, right?
Yeah.
Coaching legends.
Yeah.
But I don't know if any of them have the Prime effect.
Well, no, I just...
And I don't think CU is that place without Prime, because you have to have somebody who brings not only value to the coaching aspect of it, because I don't even think that's where most of his value has come from.
Yeah.
I think it's the attention. I think it's the money he has already brought into the program is going to be unmatched, bro. You'll probably have to go get like a celebrity type coach. I would feel. I use those names. Player.
I use those names just because they have value. They have gravitas, right? Like, it would have to be somebody big name to follow them up. Otherwise, you're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
Like, those guys, they're not like, come on, Nick Saban. Dog.
Yeah.
Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Right? Like, come on. You don't think he can't fucking recruit still? You don't think he can go in somebody?
No. I think he could. No, I'm not saying
it would
can't
be
recruit.
different. It would be different, but it wouldn't be the same as Prime. You're not going to get another Prime.
Yeah, but that's just all coaching. That's what I'm saying. That's all. He's only adding value to everything that's related to the coaching aspect of it.
So do you think when he was
recruiting, X's and O's, eligibility, like anything that's tied to somewhat recruiting? But I'm talking about like endorsements, all kinds of, like, they'll get some, but not like Prime.
But if you're still getting, I get you. I get what you're saying on that part.
Yeah.
But if it's about keeping the program progressing like it has, that part of it, the structure part of it, I think would continue to progress, because I think you would have somebody in here that knows the game. Now neither one of them, like Saban has a little bit, but Meyer hasn't. The NIL stuff, they haven't had to cope with that, have to deal with that. Now, also, I think if you keep a big name in there, maybe some of these big name backers that you have don't back out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're jumping all over the place because it's been so long. But have you seen the Aaron Hernandez, little series on Hulu FX.
No.
So Urban Meyer's in there, obviously when he was at Florida, right?
Yeah.
And dog, like it's kind of crazy, bro. Like
They got away with some shit at Florida, didn't they?
yeah, and it's just also like it's somewhat sad to see how many people knew there was something wrong,
Right.
but overlooked it because of the sheer
Ability
of Aaron Hernandez, bro.
Yeah.
Like he was just this out of this world talented tight end, bro. Like probably honestly, if things didn't happen the way they did for him, he would have been the tight end in the league right now.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
He was legit.
Yeah, bro. He was phenomenal. And the thing that was crazy about it is like Bill Belichick, right? After he goes into the league, Bill Belichick's like, oh, well, I'm going to put him at running back. And then they have him lined up in the backfield, and they're running the ball with them. They're doing all these exotic formations and plays, and it's crazy. But you see Urban Meyer, you see all these guys, bro, and there was a lot of drama going on in that in Florida. Like they're getting in a lot of trouble, and he kept saying, "What are we, the U? We're not the U." Like the school would go to Urban Meyer all the time, and he's like, "Well, you wouldn't be saying that if we were 8-0 right now." And he was like, I gotta win.
Yeah.
And finally, like at the end of it, you know, where there's a part in the show where Hernandez is like, I'm gonna come back for another year. And Urban Meyer's like, I don't got a place for you.
You need to go to the league, dog.
You need to go to the league. This is your highest value right now. Like, go to the league. I don't have a place for you. And at that moment, he kind of tells his wife, like, I gotta change some things up because, you know, I've been so focused on just winning that I've allowed some things, and I let this kind of get out of control.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I was like, sheesh, bro.
Dude, I hope that prime don't go, but like I said, man, I'm gonna enjoy every moment of it, especially if we find a way to make it to the college football playoff, and all of a sudden you have a chance for a natty after going 2-11 a couple years ago.
I don't think prime leaves, bro, because I think honestly, like, he has built something here for his legacy.
Yeah.
Here in Colorado.
Well,
like, I think the only other thing would be maybe going back to the school to your alma mater.
That's the one school that scares me. That's the one that scares me because Mike Norvell's getting fired.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one that scares me. And you know what, though,
bro?
You
could do some dirt there right now.
The portal would be ridiculous.
Well, and then you got to think about, like, what do you tell a guy like Travis Hunter? Do you say go to the league?
Well, Travis is gone, dude.
But he still could not be if he wanted to be.
He's gone.
He still couldn't. But I'm just saying.
I thought he was a senior.
No. He could still come back for another year.
Okay.
Look at that. Because I thought I read something like, will Travis Hunter stay for one more year of?
You might be right.
Of college football. And what if? I don't think so. Like, to me, I think right now is when you go, especially if you win the Heisman. If you win the Heisman, bro, you might be the number one overall
Let me
pick.
ask you a question, though. Just hypothetically speaking, does Travis talks about how he does when no one else does. No one else has done, right? Does he win the Heisman and say, you know what? I want to be the only other one to win too. I want to join, you know, old Archie over there in Ohio State and fucking let me get win too. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't think it happens. I think the value, but see, that's the thing. What changes the game with NIL though right now is a lot of times kids would leave because they needed to get some bread. They needed to take care of the fam. They need you can make more money in college than you do in the pros right now.
Do you think Travis or Shedeur truly could be that number one?
He's a junior.
You think they could be that true number one pick?
Yeah. They might go 1-2.
Or do you think someone like Cam Ward or Gentry's gonna?
I don't think Gentry just the way
Gentry.
The way they devalue the running back position. He'll go top 10 though still. But I think it depends on
running backs, man.
It depends on who's up at the top. Because if you got like the Giants and the Cowboys or the Giants and like Cleveland 1-2, dog, they both need quarterbacks.
You know what for me would be kind of worst case scenario is if, because you just said they don't value running backs as much, right? If a guy like Travis Hunter, or because Travis Hunter's already said how much he loves Colorado,
yeah,
or a running back like Genty falls to Denver. Because right now, bro, I'm going to be really honest. The Broncos right now, in my opinion, are a good football team.
Yeah.
They got a very good system going. Sean Payton found, like, I got to put my foot in my mouth, right? As much as I'm a critic, I've been on here before saying Sean Payton is the problem. You know what I mean? Russell Wilson wasn't the fit. Russ is doing his thing, but he wasn't the fit in Sean Payton's system, and I think they just found it in Bo Nix.
Yeah.
And Bo Nix is balling. Their defense is balling. Denver's a good team, and if they happen to get a weapon, fall to them, because they're going to be in one of those. They're going to be in one of those comfortable seats, right? They're not going to be. They're going to not be top 5 picks, right?
Yeah.
They'll probably be in like the 13 to 18 range, I would imagine, is where they're going to finish at, somewhere around there. And that sounds like a landing spot for a couple of those guys. So
I don't think Hunter falls that far.
You don't think so?
No, he's top 10. Dude, where would you draft him at? And before you answer that, let me just read.
Where would I draft Travis Hunter at?
To play. What position would you draft him to play? Right now, 74 receptions, 911 yards, 12.3 yards per catch, 9 touchdowns, right? Defensively, he's got 16 tackles, 8 pass defenses, 1 forced fumble, 3 interceptions.
Before I answer it, I want to ask a question.
Sure.
There's nothing saying he can't go both ways.
No. There's nothing at all. It's just never been done.
So if I was a coach that wanted to win,
you let him go both ways?
I'd let him do whatever he can do.
You think that's sustainable in the NFL?
I don't. I think it's a lot on. I was just talking about what they did with Aaron Hernandez, right? Like, and how. But look at who did it, and look at what they did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you want to win the Lombardi?
Yeah. No.
Do you want to win the trophy? Because if you do, then you're gonna put that dude and line him up against their number 1 receiver, or line him up against their slot receiver or something. You know what I mean? And then you're also gonna put him out there as a weapon. Oh,
here's my counter. Here's my counter to when they say that it's not sustainable. They said playing 130 snaps a game, 120 snaps a game throughout a Division I FBS Power 4, Power 5 conference team wasn't sustainable. And here we are.
Yeah.
He missed a game for injury,
right?
But here we are, 139 snaps in yesterday's game.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
He's still doing it. Yeah. Still great at both. Still, they were giving shit about his interception yesterday because it was a tip drill interception.
So what?
But if you watch the 22, he leaves his man once the ball's thrown. He leaves his man to be in position to make a play.
Yeah.
Dog, we tell the kids all the time, be in position to make a play.
Yeah.
He put himself in position to make a play. Ball gets tipped.
Yeah.
He's there to catch it.
Yeah. No,
dude,
they're always going to say something. But to give you an answer, right, I would try to explore the option of putting him on both sides.
I would too.
On both. But the primary position I would probably bring him to my team for would be receiver, I think.
So?
He's just so dynamic with
Wonder
the football,
if you used him at primary at receiver and put him in at like a nickel.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? That way, like, you limit his exposure on defense as much, and he's good. He's a good defender.
Yeah.
He got burned yesterday.
Yeah.
He's a good defender, but I think maybe
I don't even know if he got burned. I think it was a miscommunication. Like, defensively, looking at it, I feel like he was supposed to have a little bit of help over the top, and he was relying on that help, and he kind of let off, and that's where it looked like he got burnt. You know what I mean? Because he thought he was going to have that over the top coverage, and he didn't.
You know what's crazy is I have his stats up right here, and I'm looking back at his first year, and he only had 18 receptions for 190 yards and 4 touchdowns.
I seen a video of his little brother balling out right now too at his high school.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that, he transferred here, and they were like, oh, he's a great 2-way player, and then fucking exploded.
Yeah,
exploded. It's awesome. I hope he gets the chance to be on that Heisman stage hoisting. And I think, like I said, bro, like, regardless of what happens with CU and Coach Prime, these last 2 years have been some of the greatest CU football years besides their national championship runs.
Let's just do this, right? Let's just say the season ended right now.
Yeah.
Season ended right now. Number 1 pick goes to, is it Carolina still? Who's on the bottom?
Oh, shit. You want me to do some research?
Yeah, I want you to do some research.
All right, let me do some research. I believe
let's just
right
pull
now,
up the full standings, and then let's just see how the draft order would work based off of that. Because I want to go through the first, You said Travis is top 10. Do you think Shador's top 10 pick?
Shador's the fucking first pick, dog.
You think so?
Shador's the first fucking pick.
Regardless.
In a league that values quarterback the way it does, he's the best quarterback coming out in college football right now, regardless.
Is he?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah.
So 2-8 right now is Jacksonville. They're not taking a quarterback.
Why not?
Maybe.
Why
they
not?
Because they just paid Trevor Lawrence, so they have to get rid of him. They have dog.
How many years has Trevor been with them now?
Dog, we talking. This is his fourth season or third season? Fourth season.
Fourth
right?
season.
So we talking about it like it's easy to get rid of quarterbacks, right? Cleveland's 2-7. They can use a quarterback. The Raiders are 2-7. They can use a quarterback. The Giants are 2-8. They can use a quarterback.
So right now,
Carolina's 3-7.
So right now it would be.
Right now it would be. I don't know how the tiebreakers break out.
It would be It would be Jacksonville.
It'd be Jacksonville, Vegas. Or no, actually Cleveland. Jacksonville or New York first, because Jacksonville and New York are both 2-8, and then Cleveland and the Raiders are both 2-7. So
okay, so that would be the first 4 picks. Do quarterbacks go to the first 4?
It's possible, because if you figure,
are there 4 quarterbacks that are worth the number 1 pick, first round pick?
Shador, Cam, maybe Dart from Ole Miss.
Yeah,
Quinn Ewers.
But top
Ewers
4
has been coming back. Dog, it doesn't matter.
Top 4 though, because honestly,
was Michael Penix good enough to go to the Falcons?
Yeah.
Was Bo Nix good enough to go to Broncos? Allegedly, they should have been lower.
But they were later. They were in top 4.
But it's just
Penix was maybe.
It's still no. They were he's like 6th. Yeah. But it's still the value of the position though.
Yeah, but I'm saying so we named those teams, right? Do any of those teams need a running back? Do any of those teams need a?
Oh, I'm sure they can
a
use
receiver.
Do
you think?
Wow, Giants just got Neighbors.
Yeah, but you pair Neighbors with a guy like Travis Hunter.
You pair Neighbors with a motherfucker like Shador. Thank you. So the Giants are picking a quarterback. That and Daniel
Jones is done.
Yeah, he's been an absolute disaster, right?
Oh, God, we got a tank so we could get Shador.
Fuck it. That's what I'm saying. Your only luck to trading up is if Jacksonville gets the first pick.
But right? I'd be happy with Ward.
Yeah,
in Vegas, I'd be happy with.
Wonder if Jacksonville hit you up and like, hey, we'll send you Trevor Lawrence.
No. We'll take Dak.
Would you give up your first pick for Dak?
Veterans that we have, no, depends on where we're at, but no, absolutely not top 5.
You don't think Dallas is going to ask for a number 1 pick for a first round pick?
We're not giving him top 5. He's not worth a top 5.
So he's not. Pick. So then you're not. Yeah. So that's.
We would trade if we would trade for Dak. We would give them a 2nd rounder.
Listen, if Russell Wilson took 2 number 2s, like I know Dak Prescott doesn't have the fucking resume that Russell does. What did Cleveland give up for? I think Cleveland gave up 2 number 2s or 2 number 1s for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but I don't know if they were ever that good of number 1s. I mean, I guess Cleveland probably was because they've sucked.
Dog.
But no, Dog. I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't. But I would also maybe get a guy like Justin Fields. Right, to me, Justin Fields proved himself as a starter in Pittsburgh, and I don't know why. Like,
I see a scenario where
he gets that starting job back.
No, I see a scenario where Travis Hunter goes number 1. You want me to lay out?
You lay it out. Giants get the number 1 pick.
The Dallas Cowboys. Because if Jerry decides is stubborn like Jerry is and he can't get Deion, first of all, right? By that time, that coaching has already been. If Deion goes to Dallas, then it's over, right? But say he can't get Deion, right? And Dallas is on the clock for the number 1 pick. Like, do they trade back and keep Dak because it's cheaper to keep him, and then draft somebody like Travis Hunter?
I'll tell you.
With CeeDee Lamb, Travis Hunter, and Dak Prescott?
I'll tell you what. If they did, oh, my God. That would be ridiculous.
Dog, can you imagine?
They blow the top off of defenses, bro.
Yeah.
And then they'd probably just later in the draft bring in another speedster or bring in another speedster to pair with them guys. Or do they still have who are the other receivers? Oh no, they don't got Gallup no more.
No, I forget who they have. They have some other motherfuckers over there. But like, just think about something like that, and then you pick up a running back in the 2nd round because there's good running backs.
Yeah, they're
so that's the scenario where I could be like, you know what, that's Travis going number 1. I don't think it's gonna happen though. I think teams are so desperate for quarterbacks, bro. They'll give up pretty much anything.
But if you're one of those teams that need a quarterback, is there a guy? You mentioned Dart earlier. Is there a guy that you believe in enough to pass up on these quarterbacks that we just mentioned, right? Cam Ward, Shador, is there a guy that you think has enough value that you could get later in the draft if you take a guy like Travis early to the Giants to pair him with a Neighbors, or to take him to Cleveland and put him with what they got in Cleveland and pair him, give Sean something, you know what I mean? Or the Raiders, right? And bring him to the Raiders and I don't know. We need a quarterback.
There is no way that if you need a quarterback, you're drafting fucking Travis Hunter over a quarterback. I love Travis, dog. There's just no way that's happening.
Yeah.
There's no way, especially when one the caliber of Shador and Cam Ward.
But if they're gone.
Now, if they're gone, yeah, I'm not like, it took the Broncos a lot of balls to draft Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not drafting over value for a position. I'd rather take best player available.
Yeah.
Right? But who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Yo, put a cap on that. Prime ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
Hopefully we celebrating the Big 12 championship, which gives us a chance to get to a natty.
Yep.
I see all these projections for fucking playoff football brackets, and you know what? Those things ain't shit until it actually happens, because there's nothing set in stone. So I'm excited to see what goes on, and we talk about the league a little bit. I'm excited to see these Dolphins whoop their Raiders' ass later on.
We'll see.
Zoe, what up?
We'll see.
If you haven't hit me for the bet already, make sure you hit me.
We'll see. But the thing is like the sun shines on a dog's ass every once in a while, and we're a dog's ass this year. I ain't gonna lie. And hopefully that sun's shining.
Hey, is Coach back next year?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So he should be gone. If we lose today, he should be gone.
So here's the thing then.
If we lose to the Dolphins today, we fire Antonio Pierce.
You heard it here first, folks.
We draft Shador next year, and we pay Prime.
So here's the...
I'm sorry, CU, but we're taking him.
Jesus Christ. Here's the deal, bro. I don't think the Raiders are in the business of winning the rest going forward.
No.
They missed out on an opportunity last year to be able to draft a quarterback, and it's not their fault. They couldn't get the deal done to get up high enough to get the guy they wanted, and no one expected fucking Atlanta to go ahead and draft Michael Penix Jr. after signing, a quarterback.
It is their fault. It is their fault, and I'm gonna tell you why. They could have got the fucking deal done. You end up getting rid of Devontae Adams anyway. Right now, when his value is shit, when you could have got rid of him at draft day and got way more value out of him. There's been rumors about getting rid of Max going somewhere, until Max has to come out and say, "Well, get rid of both those guys and get that fucking guy you wanted." We could have got any quarterback in that draft last year if we truly wanted it. If there's a will, there's always a way. I
stand corrected. Then I stand corrected.
But am I right?
Yeah,
it's a good point there. Like, because Devontae wanted to go before. Let's keep it real. All this fake bullshit narratives that they put out there.
Yeah.
He's been unhappy there.
Yeah. Since Carr got fired.
Yeah, he has been unhappy. Yeah. And so if there's somebody who is that unhappy and you're taking over a new program, make it a new program. Yeah. I think Antonio Pierce came in there, and I said it when he first got it. I was worried about him being too much of a player's coach. Right. It's too friendly in the locker room. He bought into the Tay, like, of course, he's a Hall of Fame receiver, right? Who wouldn't want to try to take a Hall of Fame receiver and build what help you build your legacy? But at the end of the day, bro, he should have came in and said, "I'm confident in my ability, and I want to build my program."
Well, that's the one thing I can give Sean Payton props on. Yeah, he got rid of the people that didn't want to be here and that he didn't want here, that weren't going to fit.
And his way, bro, like, it's ain't, you know what I mean? Like, look, Russell Wilson. He had his office, and you're losing your office, bro. Like, that's
all
not
these
what
people
we're
don't
doing.
have access.
We're not building fucking. It's a team.
Yeah,
you got to build a team. You know what I mean? Like, so I think we could have got it. Am I mad? No, because Shador. You know what I mean?
The plan's always been the 2-year plan to get Shador and fucking be the best at that point.
I mean, especially because with Brady now in office with us. And Shador and Brady having their ties, and I think the writing's on the wall, but we'll see how it goes. What else? We've been going on football this whole time. We had a whole list of things to talk about.
We caught up,
and
we hit recent events,
and we've been on football, but that's great because that's I miss it already as much as like I was ready for it to end and I was ready to get into wrestling season. Fuck, I miss football.
Well, like I told you the other day at our meeting, I've been genuinely invested and being better next year, and exploring options and ways to make the offense better, utilize personnel we have, just be better in general, you know. So I'm there with you, bro. I want that to be gold next year, and I want that also to be next to a larger state championship trophy. So
and then with the caveat of, okay, now we won state, we won gold, now let's see what we can go do elsewhere.
So do some regional action, some national.
I mean, that's what I want to do, bro. I want to give these kids that experience. And honestly, I don't even know if it matters if we do this next year. Maybe regardless, we plan for an out-of-state tournament. There's a bunch of money grab tournaments all the time, but let's go see what we can do outside of Colorado too. You know what I mean? But that depends on how the season goes, because I'm not going to take a bad representation of Colorado outside of the state. You know what I mean?
We've got to be able to represent here before we go out there.
Yeah.
I feel that for sure.
Yep.
Yo, did you, we're talking about kind of turning the page and flipping the script and all that good shit.
Script? No pun intended. You know, you always got to know that there's a good script when there's a little bit of cheeks involved.
Yo, so I was here watching it with you.
Yeah.
And, it was.
I'm sure everybody knows what we're talking about already.
I was a little disappointed to see my one of my favorite boxers of all time go into that fight and not look like one of the greatest boxers of all time. And then you realize, he's 58 years old. But, man, that
got
Tyson.
bills to pay, too.
Yeah, hey, you
he's
know what?
He's a man just like
Sometimes
us.
you make business decisions.
Yeah.
That Tyson and Jake Paul fight, though, man, I could have went without seeing it.
We almost did because of the great Netflix coverage. The only clear picture they had was of Mike Tyson's ass.
Yeah, that's true. It might have been for purpose there. Do you think Mike got an extra check for showing the cheeks?
Absolutely.
He better have, right?
Absolutely. Just like all the Vince McMahon skits during the WWE where he's freaking, doing Diddy things because it's on the script. You know what I mean? I guarantee you they got paid either during that time or after in those lawsuits. Right, Vince?
Tyson. I didn't have that on my bingo card. Tyson showing the cheeks.
No, me neither. That was like, damn, Netflix ain't.
What about
it's
that?
Netflix though, right? It ain't.
You sent me that picture and I was like, what about that Diddy looking motherfucker right on the other side of him? Look like a Diddy in disguise, dude.
Yeah, Diddy looks like Diddy in disguise.
The only reason why I don't think Mike Tyson got paid for that is because he's a wild dude, bro. He just wild. Honestly, dude, like.
He doesn't care.
I wouldn't have been surprised to see Mike Tyson walking around the fucking
with junk out.
Just junk out.
Yeah.
They probably had to tell him, hey, Mike, can you put your girdle on, dog?
Yeah, because he probably was. Yeah, he probably
just
was.
Chilling, let it hang out.
You're
man.
probably right.
I'm relaxed. I'm comfortable.
Like an NFL locker room.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like, yo, Tyson, can you put that away real quick and come do this interview?
Yeah.
All right.
We already have a microphone.
What'd you think about the fight, though?
I think it was what it should have been. I think Tyson's old.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he trained hard, right? I think everybody thought it could be a knockout, and I'm sure Tyson thought it, and I'm sure Jake Paul thought it, right? Yeah. At any given time, if Tyson would have connected properly, it could have been a knockout. But the thing is, he's freaking over 50. Jake Paul's 20-something years old. He's in his prime. He has the endurance to go 8 rounds with no problem. And, I think it was very clear that after round 1,
it was over.
Mike Tyson was very fucking gassed.
It was over.
And I don't know, bro, but I've been in several scuffles. And when you're gassed, sometimes you can't throw punches. Like, I know we're screaming at the screen saying punch, like throw something. But sometimes that strength just isn't there, bro. You're saying pick up this arm, and I can't.
I think folks just forgot what it's like to be in that kind of situation. Like, me and you out there.
Yeah.
I think, and also folks forgot that it's easier to hit a fucking pad that ain't moving and look great doing it than it is to hit somebody that even if Jake Paul isn't the greatest boxer in the world, he's been training.
Just like routes on air, right?
Yes.
Routes on air look beautiful. We're going against air and no scout defense. We look phenomenal on offense. We're moving the ball up and down the field.
Yeah.
But the minute you put a defense,
oh shit, coach!
Yeah, you got to be a counterpuncher too, and it was a crazy event. What do you think about the whole event in general? Is Netflix getting another boxing event?
Not if they don't fix their bandwidth problem.
Oh, that'll get fixed. That'll get fixed. Guarantee it.
I can see Jake Paul throwing events on there.
What did you think about the other fights?
I thought the ladies' fight was the best fight.
What did you think about the dry hump from GAT?
I've never seen an Indian boxer, which was cool.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like Indian, like Native American. I mean like an actual from India.
Yeah.
So make sure motherfuckers understand. I thought that was a gimmicky fight too. But
it was because they were both from social media.
So I could do without the social media fights.
Yeah,
I could do without that. I one thing I had took pride in with Jake Paul and his cards is that put some legit fights on there. I didn't like the way that welterweight fight ended.
Yeah,
in the draw.
Yeah,
that was kind of.
Yeah, I think you said it right there. Like, not everybody's you, Jake. Right, so let's stop getting the KSIs and all these other dudes that think they can.
Them dudes have a following too outside of America, so there's other eyes on it.
No, I get that, but let's not try to call it a real boxing event or something and get it the promote. Like, you could do your promotion. I don't know, maybe not. I'm not gonna. I would rather him put on a real promotional card with real fights on it, so that way they can't take away from what he's doing.
Yeah,
because I think when you put
and the previous fights have been like that.
Yeah, I think
cards have been like that.
When you put a lot of guys on your undercard that are also seem like they're joking around in there, and then you have a main event and
lose some of that validity.
It seems like you didn't give it your all, and in fact, you say like there were times where you noticed this and you didn't want to hurt Mike, like. Give everybody else some action beforehand. Like, thankfully, the girls' fight was a great fight.
Yo, that girl's eye was split.
But what if that would have got that fight would have ended early?
Yeah.
What'd you think about the comments afterwards?
About the big ass head?
About the big head from fucking Taylor and Amanda Serrano's corner was we're on them, bro.
Yeah.
And they said that she finishes fights like that all the time.
Yeah.
There's constant where she's getting points deducted for headbutting. Girls are constantly leaving her fights with cuts like that.
That's not new in boxing though. Holyfield was like that too.
Yeah, it's not.
Leading with his head, and
that's why Mike bit him.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Amanda Serrano should have bit him and paid a little homage or bit her.
Dog, what would you
paid some homage? I would have that would have made it the best event ever.
Bro, I would have looked past the next Netflix pixelation if she would have bit that bitch's ear off.
Jake Paul's a troll, huh? He buys the ear protection with the bedazzled ear protection. It's all blinged out. That's funny.
Yeah.
Did you check out any of the UFC?
I watched some highlights. I don't want to sound my age here. But
yeah.
I didn't go in the paint like you did.
Oh yeah.
But I was chilling with the boys last night and they put me to sleep.
Yeah, it was some good fights.
I did see the highlights. I watched the Jones fight after the fact. That knockout was ridiculous.
Yeah, there was some good fights. The women's fight on there, I forget her name, but she was the underdog. She won it. There was a I'm gonna butcher his Bo Nichols.
Bo Nichols.
He was fighting. Who was he fighting? I don't even know the dude he was fighting. Right, but. The fight ends, bro, and before they announced the decision, the ref already raised his hand.
Oh, no.
Like before, and then they both look at each other and laugh, and he puts his hand down and then raises it again.
Oh, no.
When the decision's actually named, I'm like, oh, dog. And then he kind of looks at him like I knew.
Well, I think they know. I think like he's probably seen that fight and seen the motherfucker get beat up.
Yeah. Well, and then he goes, well, I was whooping on him. Is in the I was putting a whooping on him. Like,
yeah. He know, and the judge might tell the referee beforehand too, like, hey, this is your winner right here. So, raise the right motherfucker's hand. Because I've seen it in the past too, where the motherfucker lifts up the wrong hand, like, oh no, my bad, this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But,
So
cage fighting is wild, bro.
It is. It's the professional. Like we're talking about, this is wrestling season. Like, it is the profession for what. Normal Greco freestyle, jiu-jitsu, grapplers and wrestling.
Yeah,
it's that profession.
Yeah, it's wild.
And I think one day maybe there will be a sanctioned professional, combat sport that kind of engulfs all those without the punching, I think that will.
Well, there is. They got grappling. They got like grappling leagues and shit like that.
I mean, like a big one. Like
yeah.
I think there will be like the NFL, UFC. I think there will be someone that comes into that lane eventually because.
I mean, we got professional slap boxing. We or slap fighting. We should be able to see it.
Yeah, like because it would be nice just to see see the sport kind of right, like that end of the sport without someone getting their freaking.
It's just wild, bro.
Knocked off.
It's just so wild, dude. That is popular. That our most popular sports are some of the most violent.
I know.
It's just wild. It goes to speak to the nature of us.
Oh, right? You know what I wanted to ask you? You need to check out Face Off.
Face Off. What is that?
So it's like the quarterback series, the series on Netflix of receiver and quarterback.
Yeah.
Follow. It's the NHL.
Oh, sick.
And it's Face Off, bro. You would like it. It had me playing NHL on the fucking Xbox right after that.
On NHL.
It was dope, bro. But they followed Forsberg. They followed I don't know. I don't even know hockey.
I'll have to go check it out.
But they followed a bunch of talented dudes, bro.
Are crazy.
Oh, dog.
Them motherfuckers are crazy.
It's dope. And then they followed our captain through his injury.
Landeskog?
Yeah.
Nice.
And him coming back and him contemplating whether he was going to come back.
Well, he ain't come back yet.
And no, but that's what this is during.
Yeah. Are they like right now?
It's like, I think it's a little bit before right now. Okay. But it's like, oh, is he going to end up coming back? Is he going to work his way? And like, it's kind of telling the story of it's still not a for sure thing, bro. Like, it's a cool show.
I like shit like that, dude.
It's a really cool show. Like, I would definitely recommend you checking out Face Off.
I've been watching, I know I'm late to the party, but I've been watching a lot of the Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh,
those are fucking wild, dude.
And speaking of that, watch the Vince McMahon Netflix special.
I gotta check that one out.
That one was good, bro. I mean, it was so good that he filmed, I would say 60. I think they said how much of it was actually, but I would say my guesstimation was like 60% of the whole documentary. He was in it.
Wow.
And then the lawsuits came out, and he was no longer in it. But he was even in it during like some of the early stuff of him, like. I don't know, bro, but it was crazy, dog. Like he was, I don't know. Like you could look at it two ways, right? You could look at it as he did a lot of great things. He was a visionary, and he gave us entertainment.
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon was a genius, but then you can look at it, and he was a Epstein Diddy kind of guy, bro.
Yeah.
Like he used his power
for
the wrong reasons.
I think those things both can be true. Like honestly, he was a genius. He did, and that doesn't mean that we have to be like, oh, he celebrated, but like you can acknowledge the fact that the dude fucking pioneered and changed the game.
Yeah, it's tough too, because like during those times, right? Like there was a time in entertainment where sex sells.
Yeah.
You seen it on Jerry Springer.
Yep.
You seen it on all these shows, right? And so that was the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
And so a lot of WWE is scripting.
Yeah.
And so he wrote a lot of promiscuous scenes into the WWE, right? You had the divas start coming out and
the lingerie
matches and things like that, bro. And yes, it's demeaning.
Yeah.
Right. But where is the line of like, where's the line that he, like, you know what I mean? Because he does cross the line.
Well, and it's just wild how things were culturally different.
2020, but like back then, like that's what was going on.
Things were culturally acceptable.
And everybody was doing that. Yeah. And so like, was it like, I don't know. It's
like,
so tough, bro.
I get what you're saying, because it's almost like,
I don't even want to say.
I'm going to sound funny asking this question,
yes.
but like, where's the line between entertainment and like fucking abuse? And where's the line between where this is the way things used to be versus this way things now? Like, is there a way to be like, I know this was wrong, but this shit was popping back in the day, right?
Yeah, and
I think people want to cancel shit like that right away instead of looking at it as like, look how far we've come from like this used to be socially acceptable to like maybe we weren't doing it right back then.
And also, why can't like some of those people, right, like truly just take accountability for it without like ruining their lives also? Because like at the same time is I do think that they abuse their power. If you watch it, you will see that they abuse their power.
Yeah.
And so they should be on, on the hook for those types of incidents.
For sure.
But in incidents that it just doesn't age well.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe even the person who's involved, whether it's male or female, they change.
Yeah.
Humans change, right?
Yeah.
And what they might have been okay with making money about then, it now is something that they have to live with for the rest of their life and look back on. And now they're like, you know what? Now that I think about it, I don't like that, and I didn't like that. I was just in a weird state in my life, and I had to do that because I felt like you know what I mean? Like,
make a comparison to like Jenna
it's
Jameson
tough, dude,
and
it's
Maya
tough.
Khalifa. You know what I mean? Them ladies both have been on the record saying that they wish they never would have been formed in porn.
Yeah.
And that they hate that their videos are still out in the world circulating, and it made them a lot of money, yes, and it made them the foundation of what their life is now. But if they could take it back, they wouldn't have done it. You know, we all make mistakes, bro.
Yeah.
We all do stupid shit. You know, some should be obviously penalized and judged a lot harsher than others in terms of like what the mistake is. But I mean, dude, that's like who deserves a redemption?
Yeah.
And who deserves a second chance? And,
Yeah,
and that's
dark,
a
though.
slippery slope, bro. I have to watch it, dude, because I haven't seen
and then
it.
even touch base on like the Owen Hart situation,
Yeah.
the Bret Hart where he spits in it, where they
Yep.
rob Bret Hart.
That I've seen that dark side, the screw job in Montreal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember as a kid watching that, and then the storyline behind it was just wild.
Yeah.
Just wild. Fuck, dude. We've been going at it for 1 hour and 5, bro.
That's what's up.
Getting it in.
That's what's up. It's been a while. We haven't had, we've had, again, we see each other.
Yeah.
We've had conversations,
Yeah.
but we haven't had one of these.
Well,
Right? There's something about when
we've been missing the
when you
folks.
hit that record,
Yeah.
when those cameras go on,
Yeah.
when we're talking over mic, it's much easier to just flow.
Well, and even
Right,
just
and
talking
give
with you
people
like
what they
this,
want.
bro, we get to reflecting on like what we did as a team this year.
Yeah.
You know, and it just
Yeah.
starts bringing up memories, and it's like we don't talk about that on the day to day. We talk about like strategy and shit like that, get
Yeah.
better, and to be able to sit back and reflect and be like, bring up memories, or like our first game and shit, dude. When,
Yeah.
Kids are just taking the ball and scoring, and it was just easy to score, and it's like, fuck, this is gonna be a great season. Like
Yeah.
to falling on tough times and working through them, bro. Like, it's been a blast this year.
Yeah, and it's been goals have been accomplished. Not only this, DNA Youth Sports.
Yeah.
We started our nonprofit.
Yeah.
And we're looking to give opportunities where opportunities might not be given.
Yeah.
Whether it's, we talked about it. We had our board meeting before the fight the other night and during the fights, and we talked about, it doesn't necessarily have to be, we have a lot of things going on,
Yeah.
right? We have our Wolf Pack. That's not DNA Youth Sports.
Yeah.
It's we help out if we can,
Yeah.
but DNA Youth Sports is to service the community
Well,
and to service to anywhere we're needed, essentially, and help out however we can, and bring in as much resources that can help us help others.
when I think about DNA Youth Sports, bro, I think about the kid that can't play ball because their parents can't afford it.
Yep.
Their parents, he don't have the equipment to do it.
I think about the families that
can't get
have
to where-
multiple kids,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
they can't pay for every kid to
Yeah.
play. And so their youngest has to sit out while their oldest chase their
Yeah.
dreams. Like, that youngest might be the best athlete in the
Yeah.
family.
That's what I think of when I think about DNA. I think of providing opportunity where opportunity isn't there for young people. And we talk about it all the time. Like you talk about it, where football kept you out of trouble for so long and helped you right. And then once you lost football, you went a different direction.
Yep.
I know football got me through high school, got me to go see a next level, and I probably wouldn't have gone otherwise.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
And this conversation just made me think of another acronym. Denial is not allowed. You know what I mean? We're never going to say no. If there's an opportunity to do it, we're going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we need you out there, the people. If you know or are part of any organizations who want to, sit down and kind of talk how both of our organizations could come together and provide opportunities, whether it's education, whether it's athletic, whatever it can be, to the community, to the youth, reach out. holler at us, because we definitely want to make a difference. That's what it's about. We got a great board together. Shout out to the rest of our board. I don't know if names really want to be mentioned, so I won't mention names.
Shout out to all of them though, because behind the scenes, I mean,
there's a lot that gets done.
There's a lot of shit that gets done. So shout out to our board, and shout out to the folks that really put in the work. And Dom, this seems like any time is a good time.
That's right.
To get this thing out of here, bro. It's been a pleasure, dude. But we do it like we normally do. Shout out to all of our crew. Shout out to all of our folks. Whether it be from Cutthroat Barbers and Angler, whether it be over to Zach G, you know what I mean? And Anytime Restoration,
yes, sir.
Inkless Laser, the whole list of them, bro. I don't got it up right here.
Yeah,
I'm working through it. Black Sevens, Janice's Catering, Lash All Beauty.
Yep.
There it goes, just off of memory again.
Icon.
Rebel Promotions, Icon Boxing, Icon Sales. Yo, most importantly, bro, your fam, me, my fam.
That's exactly right. Hey, and shout out to 15. Your birthday was yesterday, kid. Love you, dog. Hope you have a great weekend. Hopefully today lunch is great. Happy birthday to your sis too. You know who you are.
Get that belated for D.
And happy belated to my son. He 10 years old, man. 10 years.
About ready to get a job and get out the house.
10 years goes by so quick, bro. Like
Yo, happy birthday, Donovan.
Yeah,
19
today,
years,
yeah,
dog.
today.
19 years,
jeez.
Dog. 19.
And I'm over here about to shed a tear about 10.
I tell you what, it was just like yesterday when he was 10.
And you're starting your journey with your two youngest,
and
they were here, bro, for the fight, and it was awesome, dog, to have our families in the room, right? Missing wifey, wifey was out there doing her thug thizzle for the fam, you know what I'm saying, and doing her part, and shout out to her. But it was good to see the boys just chilling, comfortably playing. Malachi did not want to let. He's double fisted with balls at times. Just doing his thing. Whoa, come on, dog. Talk about your son here. Grow up. Damn. He had a volleyball and he had a baseball or football at a time. Let's get it right, okay, viewers. Bro, don't let Coach Al ruin this moment.
Literally, he went to bed. He went to bed with the balls in his hand, with that volleyball in his hand. I had to put it away. Like,
it was cool, bro. Like,
I had to sneak it back, bro.
And then just to it was a dope night, bro. So shout out to you. I'm glad we did this.
Shout
out to everybody out there.
Shout out to y'all for tuning in. And hey, we're sorry that it took so long, but it won't take that long. We appreciate you for sticking through with us though, all through it, man. You guys, your support, the fact that you guys ask all the time, what's up with DNA? When's the next one, man? It's all for y'all, and we appreciate you guys so much. For my partner Dom, I'm Al. We're gonna hop up out of here.
Yeah.
Love and peace, y'all.